calling for, and that's Boots Ennis at 147. Are we going to see that next?
You know me, guys. I go after the tough challenges, and yeah, definitely Turkey on the sheet, His Excellency, and to everybody, the zone, and to Matchroom, you know, Golden Boy, Top Rank, everybody that's played a part of this. Definitely, I want to see Boots. I'm Dora the Explorer, and I'm looking for Boots.
Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about Teofimo Lopez, and I want to talk about Jaron Boots Ennis and a fight breakdown. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now, subscribe to the channel. It literally takes one click, and also if you could, hit that thumbs up button. It shows love and it supports the channel. And for all of you who've been circulating the videos and telling and sharing with your friends, thank you so much, and please continue to do so. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. I'm going to start this thing off with power. Who's got more power? Is it Teofimo Lopez or is it Boots? Clearly, it's Boots. He's got more power. He's bigger. Honestly, Teofimo Lopez, you know, since he's moved up, he has pop, but he doesn't have power. He's not stopping anybody. He's not slowing anybody down. I'm not saying that he's a pillow puncher, you know, where he's a Devin Haney or something like that, but he's not slowing anybody down either. And when you look at Jaron Ennis, he's big. He's big for the division. I mean, 2 years ago, he could have been fighting at 54. He could fight at 54 anytime in his career if he wanted to. He's choosing to stay where he's at, but he could literally fight at 54, no problem. He could go up to 60 and fight competitively, no problem. So at 47, he's going to be a handful for Boots because he's clearly going to hit harder. And that's one-punch knockout power, and that's also just one-punch power in general. Neither one of these guys are big volume guys or anything like that, so Teofimo wouldn't really necessarily have to worry about that. But he's definitely a bigger guy. He's more durable just because of that. He's just a bigger guy. Range. This is interesting because you have two guys who are like magicians in there. And I think this fight's going to be fun for several reasons, but I think it's going to be fun for the main reason for anybody who really is a fan and a lover of boxing is because who's going to set the pace? Who's going to be setting up who? It will be a chess match. Teofimo Lopez has to be at the top of his game because now he's going up against somebody who pretty much plays by the same rules of trickery. The difference is he's a bigger guy. The difference is he has a longer reach. The difference is, you know, he has more to prove. Teofimo Lopez actually, you know, he hasn't been fighting like 20 years or anything like that, but he has a great resume. He's fought the who's who. When you look at Boots, he hasn't really fought the who's who. You know, I mean, Sionis was a good win, but like Sionis is not like the biggest name in the world. You know, and he's not the greatest fighter in the world. So when you look at this fight from that standpoint, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see who's going to put who in the matrix. And I think both guys have a lot to prove. I think Teofimo Lopez, he's just coming off a great win. But the thing about Teofimo Lopez is, you know, it's a mental thing. And he needs to be doing well to continue doing well. While you look at Boots, there's been so much put on Boots. Like, oh, you're the next big thing. You're the next Roy Jones. You're da-da-da-da. When you keep hearing that, and I got to be honest, I've been saying it since day one, Boots is no Roy Jones. Boots has not lived up to anything that anybody has said about him. And Boots hasn't had the opportunity to have a top-tier guy face him. That is true as well. This is still kind of lopsided because Teofimo Lopez came from a much smaller weight class. He used to fight at, 35? You know, so, yeah, like, Boots is much bigger. It's going to be interesting, yes. It's going to show a great display of skill to beat Teofimo Lopez. But at the same time, realistically, Boots could literally walk Teofimo Lopez down. That's how much bigger he is. It's not like Teofimo Lopez is going to outpoint him because he's not a volume guy. And it's not as if he's going to knock out Boots because he hasn't done that with anybody of lower tier at this weight. So and there's no reason why I'm going to believe that he's going to do that to Boots. Let's see. Footwork, Ty. Both of these guys are magicians in the ring. So when it just comes to their aesthetic in the ring, they're pretty matched up. They're matched up pretty well and pretty evenly. Footwork, it's a tie. Both of these guys can dance circles around probably 90% of boxers today. including myself. I mean, it's a tie. Defense, tie. Both of these guys have phenomenal defense. Their footwork is defense. Their head movement, their feints, their hand placements. Teofimo Lopez is great at blocking shots. While you look at Boots, he's great at riding shots. So it's just like, I don't know. These guys are matching up pretty well. Creativity. Who knows? This is a tie. Again, it's a tie. I don't know. When it comes to creativity, Teofimo Lopez has shown to be the headache of all headaches to anybody in that ring. And then you look at Boots, you look at what he's able to do with people. Now, mind you, these people are not top tier guys. Let's be honest, he hasn't been doing this with top tier guys. So I'm saying this, but I'm also being truthful in saying that he's never fought like a top 3 guy, or he's done all these magical things in the ring. While you look at Teofimo Lopez, we have to give him his props. He has done this with top tier guys. You got to give him his props. He's done it. So when it comes to creativity, technically I could swing the pendulum a little bit towards Teofimo Lopez because of the caliber of guys that he's played tricks with versus Boots. But I'm going to keep it fair and just say it's a tie. Durability. Boots, I just said he could fight at 60 starting tomorrow, no problem. That's now the great thing about Teofimo Lopez is that he rarely gets hit cleanly, and if he does get hit cleanly, he doesn't get hit cleanly consecutively. That's the great thing about him. However, you can say the same thing about Boots. I'm telling you, these guys are like a mirror. You can say the same thing about Boots, literally. Let's just say you hit him. You're not going to hit him clean 2-3 times in a row. That's just not going to happen. He will not be there. So it's not going to happen. Cardio. I think Teofimo Lopez has better cardio. I mean, smaller, so he's used to smaller guys tend to have better cardio. Not to mention just the way he fights. You got to have, more cardio. Now, granted, like I said, Boots fights the same way, but Boots hasn't done a bunch of 12-rounders. He doesn't have that level of experience where he's done a bunch of 12-rounders. And, there are moments where you can kind of see where he lapses, or maybe, I'm not going to say take a break. I'm not going to say he does like a Canelo and he'll literally like, hey, I'm taking 2 minutes off. You just work. You do whatever you need to do. I'm going to block a lot of stuff, but nothing's coming back at you. Boots isn't like that, but he will circle that ring or do something along those lines. I'm definitely going to give it to Teofimo Lopez. Boxing IQ. Because of the caliber and level of guys he has faced, you have to give it to Teofimo Lopez. Do I think Boots is a wizard in the ring? Yeah. And I don't think you can get away with those things unless you have a high boxing IQ. And part of the reason why Boots has such a high boxing IQ is because he also trains people. And he can see things. So, like I said, I could make this even, but it wouldn't be fair to Teofimo Lopez simply because he has fought top-tier guys. While you look at Boots, he's still begging for fights from certain people. He would love to fight Earl Spence. He would love to fight Keith Thurman or Bud Crawford, but these guys don't want to fight him because he came in too late and they had already done their thing. So now he's in this weird space where there's not a ton of dangerous fights, or let me say, not say dangerous, exciting fights at 147. Danger. Who's more dangerous? Is it Boots or is it Teofimo Lopez? I got to go with Boots. I think he's more dangerous. I definitely think he hits harder. He's really fast. He has cat-like instincts. Everything that Teofimo Lopez has, he has that same thing. He's young. He hasn't been hurt. He hasn't been beat up. He doesn't have any wars under his belt. You look at Teofimo Lopez, he has been hurt. He has had wars. Now, granted, that doesn't mean or, expel you from anything. But it just means that, there's more mileage on this than this because you've had wars in the ring. He's bigger and he can do all the things you do. He has great footwork, same as you. I got to go with Boots. I think he's more dangerous. I think by far he's just more dangerous than Teofimo Lopez because of the size discrepancy. It'd be one thing if there was a size discrepancy and he was slow or he was a basic fighter. Then I would change everything up. But the fact that he's almost like a mirror image of Teofimo Lopez in there, and he just wants to have fun, that's going to be a problem in itself. Yeah. So now you're talking about a guy who's the size of a tank, who can prance around like a ballerina and hits hard, versus a guy who used to fight at 135. Who are you going with? Logically, you got to go with Boots. I'm picking Boots to win this fight. If that fight is set in stone, Teofimo Lopez wants that fight. I don't know why he wants that fight. I think there's other fights out there for him. I think the Ryan fight would be big. And Ryan needs to get back in the winning column, and he needs a big name. Teofimo Lopez would provide that. Or you have Devin Haney. Devin Haney just won. He didn't look so great. He needs another big name because he's probably not going to be able to headline anything on his own. Teofimo Lopez can provide that. You also have Rolly. I don't know. Why not? Rolly. It's an easy fight for Teofimo Lopez because Rolly's pretty predictable. So I don't understand why the Boots route. I give him credit because it's the most dangerous route, but I don't understand why the Boots route. But by far is the most dangerous route. And I suppose that's the reason why, you have to respect Teofimo Lopez, because he's never looked to take the easy route or the easy road. And this clearly is not the easy route or the easy road or an advisable road, if you ask me. I think the Ryan fight makes more sense. But drop your thoughts down below.